Welcome to 2024, a year that's redefining the global economic landscape. We're on a financial roller coaster, and the twists and turns are more unpredictable than ever. Inflation continues to be a persistent force, infiltrating every aspect of our daily lives. From the rising cost of groceries to the increasing price of fuel, the impact is felt universally. High interest rates are making loans and mortgages more expensive, putting the dream of homeownership out of reach for many. It's a stark reminder of the financial hurdles we face. The global economy is teetering, with markets experiencing wild fluctuations. Investors are on edge, and the financial stability we once knew seems increasingly fragile. Amidst this turmoil, new players are emerging on the global stage. These aren't the usual suspects. They're bringing innovative perspectives and bold strategies. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are stepping up, challenging the traditional power structures. They're not just participating, they're actively reshaping the rules. They're advocating for a new world order, one where the West no longer holds all the cards. This shift in power dynamics is capturing global attention. Despite a slowing economy, China remains a manufacturing powerhouse. Their influence on global trade is undeniable, and they're not retreating from the global stage. India, with its youthful workforce and tech-driven ambitions, is rapidly innovating. They're positioning themselves as a formidable player in the global tech arena. Russia, despite facing sanctions, holds vast natural resources. Their energy exports are vital, and they're finding ways to circumvent restrictions and maintain their economic influence. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, is promoting a triple pivot strategy: fiscal stability, green transformation, and sustainable growth. It's a delicate balancing act requiring meticulous planning. This strategy is akin to a complex yoga pose, balancing economic stability, environmental sustainability, and equitable growth. It's a challenging yet essential endeavor. The goal is to keep the economy robust, transition to green energy, and ensure inclusive benefits. It's a tall order, but it's the path we're charting. Achieving this balance is easier said than done. The road ahead is fraught with challenges, but also brimming with opportunities. This period of transformation will define our future. People are demanding change, advocating for economic justice and equality. It's a collective effort, and every voice is crucial in this journey. Innovative startups and entrepreneurs are at the forefront, bringing fresh ideas and solutions. They're the driving force behind this economic evolution. Global leaders are recognizing the importance of cooperation. It's not just about competition. It's about working together to build a resilient and inclusive economy. Amidst the upheaval, there's a growing sense of unity and diversity. Communities are coming together, celebrating their cultures, and finding strength in their shared experiences. The future may be uncertain, but it's also full of potential. The decisions we make today will shape the world for future generations. Let's make them count. As we navigate this year of economic upheaval, let's remain hopeful and resilient. Every challenge presents an opportunity. Here's to a brighter and more prosperous tomorrow. The International Monetary Fund, or IMF, is championing a strategy they call the triple pivot. This approach aims to balance three critical objectives: stability, green growth, and sustainability. Essentially, it's a financial balancing act designed to maintain global economic stability while promoting environmental responsibility and social inclusivity. Imagine the IMF saying, "We need to get our financial house in order, embrace green initiatives, and ensure inclusivity for all." They advocate for economic policies that transcend mere numbers and profits, focusing instead on people and the planet. This holistic approach aims to forge a more equitable and sustainable future for everyone. While this sounds promising in theory, the reality is more complex. Balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability and social equity is a challenging endeavor. These goals often conflict, creating a web of challenges that policymakers must navigate. For instance, transitioning to green energy requires significant investment in new technologies. Renewable energy sources like wind and solar power demand substantial upfront costs for infrastructure and development. This can be a tough sell for countries grappling with budget constraints and economic instability. Moreover, unchecked economic growth can exacerbate pollution. Industrial expansion and increased production often lead to higher emissions and environmental degradation, undermining efforts to combat climate change. Achieving a balance requires meticulous planning and stringent regulation. It's akin to walking a tightrope in stilettos. Policymakers must juggle multiple priorities, ensuring that economic growth does not come at the expense of the environment or social equity. This high-stakes balancing act demands precision and foresight. The IMF advises countries to be strategic with their spending, invest in renewable energy and sustainable infrastructure, and ensure that economic growth benefits everyone. This means prioritizing investments that foster long-term sustainability and inclusive development over short-term gains. Inclusivity is paramount. The goal is to create an economy where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. This involves addressing social inequalities and ensuring that marginalized communities are not left behind. But this isn't just about economics, it's about power dynamics. The global economic landscape is shifting, altering the balance of power. Economic policies are not merely tools for growth, they are instruments of influence and control on the world stage. For decades, Western nations have dominated the global economic order. However, the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are now asserting their influence. These countries are emerging as significant players, challenging the traditional dominance of Western powers. These nations are advocating for a more multipolar world where they have a greater say in global economic governance. They seek a balanced and equitable international order that reflects the diverse interests and aspirations of all countries. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are like the new prodigies in the global economic classroom. They are not just participating, they are excelling and setting new benchmarks. These countries are dynamic, ambitious, and ready to redefine the rules of the game. They're no longer satisfied with being mere participants. They aspire to be the conductors of the global economic orchestra. The traditional economic powerhouses are beginning to feel the pressure. The rise of the BRICS nations is causing a ripple of anxiety among the established leaders of the global economy. This isn't just a minor tweak, it's a tectonic shift in the global economic landscape. The potential for a power realignment is significant and could alter the course of economic history. The BRICS are establishing their own financial institutions, such as the New Development Bank, to provide alternatives to the World Bank and the IMF. These institutions aim to address the unique needs of developing nations more effectively. Discussions are underway about creating a new BRICS unit currency, which could challenge the hegemony of the US dollar. This currency could offer a new avenue for international trade and finance. Moreover, these nations are increasingly trading with each other using their own currencies. This strategy reduces their reliance on the dollar and fortifies their economic interdependence. By bypassing the dollar, the BRICS are making a bold statement. This move could have profound implications for the global economic order. It's as if they're declaring, we can chart our own course. The BRICS nations are asserting their economic sovereignty and forging a new path forward. This is a monumental development. The actions of the BRICS could reshape the global economic order in ways that are still unfolding. The global financial system as we know it could be upended. The dominance of the dollar and the euro might be challenged, paving the way for a more multipolar world. Envision a world where the yuan, the rupee, and the real hold as much sway as the dollar and the euro. This could lead to a more balanced and equitable global economy. This is the future the BRICS are striving for. They seek a world where their voices are influential, their needs are prioritized, and their economies flourish. The rise of the BRICS is a narrative of ambition, innovation, and a quest for a more inclusive global economic order. The US economy, grappling with debt and shifting sands. Now let's dive into the complexities of the US economy. The United States remains a global economic titan, but it's facing significant challenges. The national debt has ballooned to unprecedented levels, inequality is widening, and political polarization is at an all-time high. The US dollar still holds its position as the world's reserve currency, but this dominance is increasingly under scrutiny. The BRICS nations are actively challenging the established economic order, pushing for a multipolar world. To stay ahead, the US must innovate, invest in education, and implement sound fiscal policies. Despite these hurdles, the US remains a hub of innovation and entrepreneurship. Silicon Valley, Wall Street, and a vibrant startup culture continue to drive economic growth. The critical question is whether the US can adapt to the evolving global landscape and sustain its economic leadership. Only time will reveal the answer. China's balancing act, from export powerhouse to domestic focus. China, the dragon of the global economy, is experiencing a significant shift. After decades of unprecedented growth, they're recognizing that their old model is no longer sustainable. The relentless focus on manufacturing has led to severe environmental degradation. In response, China is pivoting towards boosting domestic consumption, reducing its reliance on exports. Imagine this. Instead of just producing iPhones for the global market, they want their citizens to have the purchasing power to buy them too. However, this transition is fraught with challenges. They need to generate jobs, increase wages, and ensure their population has disposable income. It's a delicate balancing act, akin to walking a tightrope while juggling chainsaws. Concurrently, China is heavily investing in technology, aiming to become a global leader in artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and other cutting-edge sectors. They're playing the long game, with a vision that's both ambitious and forward-thinking. Europe's green ambitions navigating economic headwinds. Across the pond, Europe is striving to transition to a green economy without derailing its financial stability. Leading the global charge on climate action, Europe has set ambitious targets for renewable energy and carbon neutrality. However, the continent faces a significant challenge: an energy crisis exacerbated by the war in Ukraine and its dependency on Russian gas. Balancing the need to stay warm during harsh winters with the push for green energy is no small feat. Europe is in a delicate dance, seeking a harmonious blend of economic growth, energy security, and environmental sustainability. Investments are pouring into renewable energy projects, energy efficiency measures, and cutting-edge technologies. Yet internal divisions pose a challenge. While some nations are fully committed to the green transition, others are apprehensive about the economic implications. It's a complex balancing act, akin to herding cats on a unicycle, but Europe remains determined to find a sustainable path forward. The global debt crisis, a looming threat or manageable transition. All right, everyone, let's dive into the pressing issue of global debt. The scale of global debt has reached unprecedented levels, sparking widespread concern. From governments to corporations and even individuals, debt is a universal burden. Some experts warn that this debt is a ticking time bomb, threatening to destabilize the global economy. Others argue that with low interest rates and steady economic growth, the situation is manageable. Enter the BRICS nations, who are positioning themselves as a counterbalance. Through the new development bank, they are providing financial support to developing countries. However, their investments are strategically aligned with their own economic interests. The critical question remains: can the global community navigate this debt mountain without triggering another financial crisis? Or are we on the brink of unprecedented economic turmoil? Thanks for tuning in to Mwaki Insights. If this deep dive into BRICS and the global economy got you thinking, make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated on the latest in global geopolitics. And hey, don't keep these insights to yourself. Share this video with friends and family. Your support helps us bring you more impactful content. Until next time, keep watching, keep learning, and keep questioning the world around you.